right, happy Saturday, everyone. I had a pretty good response. I've had a few people reach out to me about my custom indicators, and I just appreciate all of them. That is very cool. Yeah, the few people that I've talked to are generally awesome people. And I know some are already funded, some work out of the country, and so they're not able to use futures. So, there's always a common way to work around this. Again, my end goal isn't necessarily the affiliate part, it's just kind of weeding out people that aren't serious. And not even that. I mean, this game is serious, but you also got to have fun with it too. It's more about people that are, I should say, dedicated to growing. I've been through the recycling aspect where I kill evaluations and then get into the live environment and just get destroyed. And I've had that part. There's no indicator that's going to solve that puzzle. That's going to be the mental aspect. But obviously, the better edge you have, it helps you with confidence, so that when you have some down days, you just regroup on small sizing and refocus on the process and not on the results. And so this, it's kind of a cool. I've only been, making indicators for the past couple months, and you can see one of my first iterations is the signal tracker enhanced, which is still, I actually like it a lot, especially when you combine it with order blocks and supply support zones. It's really powerful. And then I moved on, lately to, as you mentioned the other day, my trade Dominator, which I love overall, minus some of the false signals that it presents. So I'm still working on that. Obviously, you could draw a longer term, EMA. There's a lot of things you can do to weed out these buys, and a lot of it would be on the right side, adding a support and resistance level on a higher time frame. So likely, I wish I had this up, but likely this buy would be running into probably a order block that would, maybe avoid it, or if you did jump on it, you just get out quickly on the small loss, and then you realize, oh, the main trend is down for right now, and you stay with the trend. But the nice thing with this indicator, it does pretty good, because even by itself, you're catching a lot of good wins, minus some of the pre-market, consolidation, but you get some nice trends. And obviously, I think with any indicator, taking just signals blindly is not the way to go. I don't know if anyone would ever recommend that. But when you combine it with higher time frame, either if it's the same indicator on a higher time frame, or what I prefer, levels. So, and again, you can put levels on your actual same chart. I kind of like to keep this clean, so I'm really focused on. And then so I do my overall sentiment analysis on the right. So if you had like the 15-minute, just one example, obviously, if you get a sell signal at, was there 10:45, and we come over here, this one fired before that, but at least you would, this one would be really good because you're still in trend. So yeah, you'd miss out on these two. You wouldn't take this. Well, I guess, in theory, you take that sell, so you'd have a loss there. In theory, if you went by, that's why I don't really love the same indicator, because you'd be like, well, okay, there's a sell here, I'm just going to jump on this one, when of course you just get smacked. So that's where I actually prefer more levels than just using the indicator, because yeah, you lose this one, but you do win this one. So again, there's always give and take on your approach, but I do love levels, and the trade Dominator is coming along. I do have another one that I like a lot. It's called the Prop Firm Master, which is a stupid name, but I'll come up with something probably better. But I do like it a lot too. Again, when you're aligning the signals with levels, you get a high probability of success. And again, you might not even take these buys, because you can see yesterday, right? It was mostly a down day toward especially after the open, and you can see how all these awesome re-entries gets you in some very profitable, and then of course by then hopefully you're done, right, as the end of the day we all know at the end of the day it can just chop around. It's not going to just keep trending. So yeah, that's one thing. I'm definitely would love to get the logic worked out where these just stop populating. I don't know, or you could just have time-based trades. You trade during what I consider the best time of the day to trade, and that's really the first 2 to 3 hours after the open. And honestly, I'd almost remove the first half hour in many days, not all the time, but the first half hour, as we all know, it can jolt around and it can just really be tricky. And so it's nice sometimes waiting for just the best trades, because we all know we don't need to catch monster trades. I mean, we catch one of these and we're just patient. Hopefully we're done for the day. We don't wait around, and it's nice. Maybe you catch one, let one trail, and then you're done. But you definitely don't want to overtrade, right? I don't want to do things that you guys already know. But just so you know, that I have the trade Dominator. I have this prop firm one that I like a lot, that keeps you in the trend. Again, I want to getting the levels even better when you couple that with that. So all the whole trading strategy for those that are working with me. And again, it's just a few people. And again, the people that have reached out have been freaking awesome. So I appreciate them. So then this is my old one here, which is actually pretty cool. The PBH Plus, and that was just given to you guys for free because I enjoyed coaching that one. This is one I'm working on down the road. This is an order block one. I have a lot of code to work on, but I do like the idea. And this would be more of a swing trade where you're like on a higher time frame, you're waiting for price to get to an order block zone, and then you're looking for that reaction to catch a long move down or take a small loss if it decides to keep going. So that's one that I've had friends that are really profitable with that, with using, I guess they're doing currencies, but I want to see if I can do the same thing they're doing with futures, even though futures for me is a lot of intraday. I don't have a firm that I can do swing trades with, but I'm hoping to take the principles of that and convert it into an intraday trading opportunity. And then this one is what I call the ultimate Dominator, because it's combining the trade Dominator and the prop firm one together. And you can kind of see the logic here. I'm building it out still. But ideally, with this nice blue line, which represents a higher time frame, so you can see it's set at 30 minutes. So, it's not perfect. You can see, though, but in theory, though, it's actually pretty good. So you wouldn't take any sells when the price is above this blue line, because this is the higher time frame. So you can see, you'd maybe lose it. Well, you'd lose this one, but you would win this one, win. And then again, this is pre-market, so hopefully you're not just always trading, but you can still, eventually it started catching on as the Asian market. But then you can see later on, you'd miss this big, that's one thing with the downside of the higher time frame is you're going to miss, and that's just the give and take of when you're dealing with a higher time frame, sorry, the nice thing I'd like to do would be add some logic to catch some pullbacks. But anyway, it's hard to do everything. So right now the focus is catching the best trades on a higher time frame, and you can see plenty of winners. This one is probably a loss or a break even, but likely a loss. But you can get right back on track on profit. Then you can see when price starts to pull back. If you took every signal, then yeah, you're gonna have a couple of losses, and hopefully they're just small. But then you're back in the profit game again, and then you can see price does come below. And I like how it didn't instantly flip to selling off just yet. Obviously, you got to sell here, but price ended up flipping. So in theory, you might have scalped a little bit there if you were taking the signal, and then if you saw price dip below and you took it, well, that's it's one of those discretionary things. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to weed those kind of trades out. But this is MQ does bounce around, but right then you'd be right back profitable. Then again, this one you'd lose, but then look at this. Monster win. So yeah, you take a little bumps if you're trading small, And why is it, you're just fluid. You're not like married to something. You just stay in sync with what, just, so yeah, just making sure you're not just married to a position. You can recover, and then all of a sudden you're catching the best trades of the day. So that's why I wanted to merge those two together, but then also have them separately. So depending on the trade conditions, you'll be able to use those. So those will be indicators I'll be sharing, and as I get them perfected, it's going to be maybe a couple of days or sooner, especially people that have already supported me. And so yeah, that's just kind of an update on what I'm doing, and just a little bit. I just so you guys know, I don't take any code from anything that's like a paid source. Like I would never take any code and steal it. This is all code that I've worked on open source. I don't anything. I would never take a paid, like for example, Simple Market Matrix. I respect Justin way too much for what he's built. I think what he has is, I mean, it's amazing. I do talk to traders about optimizing what he's doing, and I think his indicators are amazing. And I am working with another trader on how to optimize it, not to change the code or anything, but I've talked to a gentleman about how he's optimized it for his own personal use. And, he's not changing the code or anything. He's just mapping it out on two different time frames, so it helps you just kind of get a clear vision on optimizing the best entries. Because HA candles, as good as they are at looking at trends, we all know sometimes these whipsaws can be brutal, and so that's why HA can be a little trickier. And one thing I'm doing with my indicators is that I do build in logic to have them work on regular candles. So I haven't done that with this one just yet. So when you can actually look at it on a regular candle, you can do a replay, right? And when you go back to do a replay, you can actually see, okay, is this working, right? So you can do a quick replay. And so then if you bought, right, which you'd be late in the game, but if you bought, and then of course you get the sell, so you can see then you can actually get at least a better picture of how it really performs. Because HA, as you know, HA, you can't do a replay on. And this other downside of Renkos, even though I like Renkos for some trend trades, you can't really go back. And for you to go back and look at the market, it's just you'd have to really really look at how the bars react, and that's just very tedious price action. I want to go back with like bars like this, do replay on the signals that I create. Are they really profitable? And as you can see, I mean, obviously, I cherry picked this one just to show you that on Friday that you took a small loss, but then you get with the right trend, you're underneath the blue. Obviously, the ideal world would be you're scalping some off, and then anyway, when you get our signal, maybe you re-enter. To me, this week getting toward the end of the day where I might not be that aggressive, but you can see how it's pretty cool. And then, of course, what I love about replay, you just click, you can speed it up, or then you can do at the end, you can see that your metrics. So that just gives you a little update on what I'm working on this weekend and the next couple of days. And again, I appreciate all those for the support. And everyone I've emailed with has been awesome. And that's just one of the coolest experiences, because this is such a isolating game, isolating way to live. I know, right? Trading world is we're all not necessarily competitive because we're all fighting against banks. I don't view you guys as right? That's just how I view it. I don't want to think that I'm taking money from you guys but it's a zero sums game. At the end of the day, we're trying to ride the coattails of the major banks, market makers. To me, that's really the competition. Those supercomputers. I mean, the odds are stacked against us, right? That's why I like building indicators where we can just catch on to just a small portion of what they're doing, and find legitimate prop firms like Blusky Purdia and take Profit Trader might be one of those. Again, I've heard better things than I've had. I mean, I've never worked with them, but I know there's others besides Purdia and Blue Sky. It's just those two. I know they're legitimate payouts, so that's why I really push them. So anyway, I appreciate you guys' time, and Again, for all those that have supported me, I'll be in communication with you, and I'm looking forward to further working and becoming the most consistent, profitable trader with you guys. So take care.